Thank you very much. Well, I can't believe that when we started the project, I was just in my early 50s. So it's quite incredible. I still felt extremely young, and here I am. This is wonderful. Allow me to begin by acknowledging Mr. Ikazawa, the chairperson of the board of SAPESI, His Excellency Ambassador Smuts Ngonyama, the Ambassador of South Africa to Japan, senior members of the South African Embassy, particularly Madam Schroeder here, members of SAPESI board who are present and the project leaders, members from the media, and ladies and gentlemen. Well, as you can see, I'm very excited because this is a special day. You know, it's wonderful when something began a long time ago and it is still continuing even though you are no longer in that office. That means you had a good idea because it is living after you are gone. So I would like to just go back a bit and remember that on the 15th of December 2007, I wrote to Mr. Tadashi Hasunuma from SAPESI in my capacity then as Minister of Education of the Republic of South Africa, to thank him for the hard work that his organization had done in ensuring that our children in South Africa have access to a range of interesting and stimulating books through the Media Library Project. When I was writing that day in December 2007, I never thought that 15 years later, I'd be standing here in Tokyo, Japan, to witness and to say bon voyage in a ceremony of yet another shipment of books to our country. And I thank SAPESI most sincerely. Over a period of 15 years, SAPESI and its partners have greatly contributed to enhancing the lives of our children in South Africa through the Mobile Library Project. So it works something like this. In Japan, they have a bus system in various municipalities. And the laws in Japan do not allow those buses to exceed a certain number of kilometers. So for our developing countries, those buses are essentially new buses. Now, Mr. Hasunuma had the good idea that he would convert those buses into mobile libraries for schools on the African continent. So when I heard about this, I thought, this is exactly what we need. And indeed, he agreed with us, and so the project began. Well, you would know that we would be excited because the past 2 years have been really difficult years, especially in education, and on the African continent, as well as in many developing countries. We've all been hit very hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. You see, I'm removing my mask because I'm tired of the mask, and I'm sure all of you are as well. This COVID had a terrible effect on the lives of children and particularly on their schooling. In South Africa, it was really devastating in the rural schools because essentially our children in the rural areas stopped schooling for almost 2 years. And it was extremely painful for them because in our system, our schools are the lifeblood of our children. We have feeding schemes for children. They're able to get nutritious meals at school. They have contact on a daily basis. They have care. We have wellness programs at our schools. So for all of that to come to a sudden stop, which was totally unplanned, was devastating for many, many young children. when we had to have what was called the hard lockdown, where all institutions had to close, including business, it was children from the poorest communities who suffered most. The ones who are middle class or who come from very well-off families, they didn't really feel the impact as much as the poor children. Because our children have smartphones, they can access our iPhones, and so as long as their teachers were digitally competent, classes went on, contact happened. But for children, where there's no wireless connectivity, where they still use an old cell phone that doesn't have smart features, for those children, education stopped. And I think that what happened at that time was our international partners came forward. Mitsubishi, many companies made available the technology to reach children in rural areas. And so for many of our children, they did get access and they did have the ability to continue their education. This is why I am so excited to be here in Tokyo today, because Japan and the companies of Japan have made a difference to our children. And I wish to thank you for that. We also found that in terms of ensuring we had very good digital education programs, the experience of Japan was very valuable for our education sector in South Africa. So I believe that this immense gesture once more by SAPESI, by providing a further mobile facility, is just a great, great addition to the already immense contribution that our young people have enjoyed from this great country. And what it's going to do, it's going to help children in those schools that have the least facilities to have an improved quality of education. And those books will help them forget the past 2 years, because books help to shape a new imagination in a young person. You know, if I've been in education, I want to know what's going on. If I've been in science, I want to know what's going on. So I'm always bothering people. So I ask them about the libraries. Are you keeping the libraries alive? Are they reaching the children that they should? And all the reports that I've received thus far. So this has made an absolutely amazing contribution to young children, to teachers, and to the intellectual development of our young people. So allow me, on behalf of our people of South Africa, on behalf of our government, allow me to express my sincerest appreciation to SAPESI for its continued support in the education sector of South Africa through this wonderful mobile library project. We look forward to receiving this new assignment of books, and I want to assure you that this project remains very close to my heart, and that the impact it has made and the joy it has brought to each child is something that none of us will forget. So allow me to express my most sincere thanks and to wish this wonderful library bon voyage. I will get back to South Africa before it, but I will pay close attention to when it arrives. Thank you very much.